From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Welcome back. And facing heat, this terror preacher fled to Malaysia to take refuge. He has inspired terrorists who, following his words, have carried out attacks from Bangladesh to the latest terrorist attack in Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, India is on Zakir Naik's trail. I will bring you breaking news on this in just a few minutes, but before that, we have taken the first step to now ensure that he too, after Masood Azhar, is dragged back. Let's debate.
जाकिर नायक को हिंदुस्तान में दिग्गी राजा जैसे लोग कंधे पर बिठा करके नाच रहे हैं भाइयों। डूब मरो कांग्रेस वालों।
A hate preacher.
That there was no God before Allah, there is no God before Allah, there will not be a God beside Allah.
A terror ideologue.
A Muslim saying that Osama bin Laden is right or wrong. Have you checked up? If he's fighting the enemies of Islam, I'm for him.
A criminal on the run since 2016. Zakir Naik, who's cooling his heels in Malaysia for now, has been charge-sheeted by the Enforcement Directorate.
Total of 193 crore has been identified as proceeds of crime that belongs to Zakir Naik. Not just that, the entire investigation that has been done by the Enforcement Directorate essentially nails Zakir Naik, given the fact that he is responsible for inciting youth in India, and the Enforcement Directorate essentially believes that his organization, Islamic Research Foundation, was behind conversions in India.
He inspired those who plotted the Dhaka terror attack in 2016. In 2019, his radicalization imprint led to terror attacks in Sri Lanka.
और मुझे इस बात की खुशी है कि वे शांति का संदेश पूरे विश्व में फैला रहे हैं.
But when the UPA was in power, he was called an apostle of peace. His IRF had even given donations to the Rajiv Gandhi Charitable Trust in 2011. It's not just Zakir Naik. In the last 4 months, agencies have launched a crackdown like never before on terror.
In the last 4 months itself, around 212 crore proceeds of crime have been identified belonging to Zakir Naik, Saeed Salahuddin as well as Hafiz Saeed. Not just that, 13 charge sheets have also been filed in the last 4 months, and around 60 crore worth properties have already been attached.
With agencies moving to brand him a fugitive economic offender like Malia, Choksi and Nirav, will he be dragged back next? Let's debate.
Viewers, the Enforcement Directorate has been doing some sterling work in terms of investigating, finding out the details and trapping Zakir Naik. You know, on almost we find a daily basis, our agencies are abused. But is there anyone today who would stand up and give credit to the Enforcement Directorate for locating, tracking the assets, the financial base, the enormous capital that Zakir Naik had got? And these people call themselves preachers. Well, they're not. I am delighted to inform you that according to my information, the Enforcement Directorate is also going to seize assets of Hafiz Saeed and Saeed Salahuddin in Dubai and the United Kingdom. That is the reach of the Modi government, that in Dubai and the United Kingdom, Hundreds of crores of rupees worth of property and assets of Hafiz Saeed and Syed Salahuddin are also being tracked, along with Hurriyat leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, the important thing to remember in all this is the following. One, Zakir Naik is a corrupt, dirty businessman. His business is terror. He tried to camouflage it with religion, it does not work. He's rejected and hated. He's rejected and hated worldwide. It is a matter of time now, once we declare him under the Fugitive Offenders Act, given the global pressure that will build, we will then move the extradition request. And after the Sri Lanka terrorist attack, in which he has played an important role, Zakir Naik will be brought back holding the scruff of his little puny neck. I am pretty sure we will hold the scruff of his neck and drag him back here, and that is the day when this foolish laugh on Ilyas Sharafuddin's face will go, and you better be careful then, Ilyas, that you don't have links with. If it is found that you have links with Zakir Naik, then you too will be put in jail. Now,
Modi ji renew the FCRA license of Zakir Naik. Modi ji himself renew the FCRA license of Zakir Naik. Advani ji sent him to teach to IPS officers the concept of jihad in Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy. Zakir Naik spread peace since last 25 years in India and 3 years in abroad. No proof against him till today. NIA bite the dust in the court of Justice Manmohan Singh, ED court. Without any proof, only allegations, jumlas and nothing else. The failure of Modi government is trying to hide behind Zakir Naik. Nothing else.
It is so
Modi government fail on every front. Jawans are being killed, Kisan being committing suicide, economy down,
defend a man who called Osama bin Laden a soldier of Islam.
Shame on Modi government.
A homophobe who said homosexual people have a mental problem.
Shame on you.
A man who justified sex slavery.
Homosexuality brought AIDS into human society,
that this man
killing millions
is a messenger
of individuals.
Of Islam, that he did nothing wrong. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of calling yourself a Muslim.
Zakir Naik never committed anything wrong. He spread peace from Gita, Vedas, Quran, Hadith. The enemies of Hinduism and Islam are against Zakir Naik.
Justifying
the
terror.
Enemies of Gita, Vedas, Quran,
just
Hadith are
because
against
he was a smooth-talking, English-speaking evangelist wearing a tie does not take away from the fact that he was propagating terror.
You are enemy of Vedas, Gita, Bible,
what theology are you talking about?
You are enemies of all religious scriptures.
Derogatory
because of that, you are
all
against Zakir
religions except Islam.
Modi is against Zakir Naik.
Is that what your religion teaches? I'm sure not.
He doesn't know the concept of God from Hinduism. Modi want to hide his demonetization and GST failure behind Zakir
Naik even spread Gita and Veda. He misinterpreted Hindu religious texts.
Why Vajpayee and Advani likes him? Why they send him to teach to IPS officers? Why Modi and Rajnath Singh renew the FCRA license of Zakir Naik?
No.
Why?
Zakir Naik said that the Shias, the Ismailis, the Ahmadiyas, the Hindus and the Christians, they will go to hell. Zakir Naik is an enemy of Indian Ahmadiyas, and by imputation, you are also an enemy of Muslims in India.
God is only one,
you don't
and you
stand
people hate
for
him
Indian
because he is closing the ashrams and dargahs.
Zakir Naik also said women should not go to offices.
Zakir Naik is spreading peace. He is against all terrorism. Zakir Naik against ISIS. Zakir Naik condemns ISIS. The day Sri Lanka bombing took place, Zakir Naik condemned ISIS.
You are favoring a retrograde.
Muslims are following Zakir Naik. Hindus are following Zakir Naik. Every religious scripture person is following Zakir Naik. They love him because he quotes the religious scriptures verbatim.
Ilyas Sharafuddin.
He was helping Hindus, he was helping Muslims and everyone in
all
India.
across the country. Then after 26/11, Instead of
shame on you, no allegation, only allegation, no proof.
Instead of de-radicalizing the society, how is it that
till
the
today no proof
Congress
against Zakir Naik? Modi
How is
government
it that
cannot
the
give a single
Congress
proof in
party received
Interpol,
donations
in Malaysian
from
court
this
or
man
ED court?
In 2011 and in 2012, Digvijay
Zakir Naik
Singh calls him a messiah
all
of
the
peace.
religious
And
scriptures.
that is why
Why
I
you
always
enemies
say
of Gita, Vedas,
it
Quran
is another proof
going against
that
Zakir Naik? I'm asking this question
26/11
today.
was planned from Lutyens' Delhi.
Shame on you, no proof
There is
at all.
absolutely
Till today, no
2000,
proof, only
2004 to 2008,
Not
so
even
many
a single
blasts.
proof, only
26/11
allegations.
happens. The
Only
least
allegations, no proof.
you could have
Only
done
jumlas,
is to try and
fake jumlas.
de-radicalize the Muslim society, but you give donations. You give donations
Zakir Naik
to
was
this man.
spreading peace.
Gita.
Whose hero
He
is
was the
Osama
best
bin
source to
Laden.
de-radicalize.
And today,
He was
today
the best source to de-radicalize. But you have spoiled that source. Now youth are going towards radicalization in India. Hindus youth as well as Muslim youth.
Even in Malaysia, now there is a lot of
We are already woken up. Alhamdulillah, we read the scripture.
I wish to just say one thing. I wish to just say one thing, viewers, tonight. Tonight, viewers, I want to ask you something. I want to ask you something, and Ilyas, you can be quiet for a while. Viewers, I want to speak to you. RSN, give me a minute, please. Give me a minute, please, RSN. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, RSN. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I have 2 or 3 simple and straightforward questions to ask you, viewers. First of all, this hate preacher Zakir Naik is not a threat just to India. He's a threat to the entire world. He's as dangerous as Osama was or al-Zawahiri is. He is a global terrorist of monumental proportions. But there's one other thing about him. With the support of the earlier government, he made a lot of money in India. Digvijay Singh, answer me. Sonia Gandhi, tell us. Vadra family, explain. He gave money to the Rajiv Gandhi Charitable Trust, point number 1. Atikur, hear me on this. So he gives money to Rajiv Gandhi Charitable Trust, question number 1. Question number 2, he then makes a lot of money. This 212 crore of rupees that has been proceeds of crime which is being confiscated, according to my sources, is 1/5 of the real value of the money, which means Congress government let him make over 1,000 crore rupees in personal wealth. So he's a greedy man who has made over 1,000 crore rupees for himself. The third thing is, Congress government always praised him, says you're a messenger of peace. The fourth thing now as I open up for debate, Atikur, is that I want this spineless coward back. India wants this spineless, greedy, corrupt coward, this terrorist called Zakir Naik back. He's fled away because that's what cowards do. The question is, there is a growing belief that Narendra Modi can bring him back. Now, your previous Congress government helped him make a lot of money. I'm asking you, viewers, would you like to see him dragged back? And why is it that when we know he's going to be dragged back, all these fellows are getting extremely nervous? Does Ilyas Sharafuddin Atikur have some links with Zakir Naik? Because if he has, then I can assure you the agencies will be after you too, Ilyas. No, they will be. You need to be extremely careful in case you have links. Do you have links? Do you have links? Do you have links? Have you had financial dealings with him? Are you in touch with him? Are you in touch with him? Reveal to me tonight.
Son of Indian Army Naik. I am a Muslim, alhamdulillah, and I am ready to fight the case on truth. Truth will win. Coward is Narendra Modi was running in 1975.
Najibullah Zazi, the Afghan American who was involved in the suicide attack on the New York subway. Deeply inspired by Zakir Naik. Rahil Sheikh, accused of train bombings in Mumbai 2006, used to listen to Zakir Naik's lectures all day. Tawfeel Ahmed, involved in the suicide attack at the Glasgow airport. deeply inspired by Zakir Naik.
Shame on you.
These are the
Shakil
people
Ahmed doesn't know
inspired by
Zakir
Zakir
Naik.
Naik.
Doesn't know him.
This is the
200
hatred that he was
crore people
preaching.
know
So can
Zakir
any
Naik.
of these
Some doing
gentlemen
wrong,
shouting
Pakistan
here
knows
on
Zakir
national
Naik.
television, can any of them confess that they were inspired by this man?
Godse talking about Zakir Naik. Supporters of terrorists Nathuram Godse
Oh, how dare you.
are talking
How
about
dare
Zakir
you
Naik.
equate those two?
Supporters of terrorists Sadhvi Pragya talking about Zakir Naik. Supporters of terrorists
You know, repeating a lie over and over again, it's not going to make it right. This is not 2014. This is 2019. Narendra Modi has been in power. He is in charge, and he will not let this happen.
No, are you nervous that
the government that you're used to? This bullshit will not be tolerated anymore, and you better get this right. Look at the list of people this man was inspiring. Look at the kind of acts this man was inspiring. And you have the gumption to sit here on national television and say he was teaching peace.
Jawan mar rahe hain, tum la aam kha rahe hain, aam. Doom maro. Go to hell according to me.
You guys have got very nervous. One second, RSN.
People are like you are radicalizing the youth, and the Indian Army has to fight them. I am waiting for the day when Indian Army will have to fight you.
Indian Army has to is being
You are radicalizing
by you people.
the people.
Indian Army is being
You
killed
are
by
radicalizing the youth of this country.
Buses for Indian
And the
Army.
Indian Army is
44
fighting them.
helicopters for
I am
BJP.
waiting for the day
No bulletproof buses for
when
Indian
you
Army.
will be taken
Shame on
on.
you people.
People
Shame
like
on
you
you
don't
people.
deserve.
No
Don't
bulletproof buses
deserve
for
the
Indian Army.
hospitality of this land.
Shame on you. No
Because your
buses for Indian Army.
Your holy land is
40 helicopters for
separate.
One second now, I go to Atikur Rahman and Atikur and Neha on the debate, please. Thank you very much. Atikur and Neha on the debate. Thank you very much. Atikur and Neha. Atikur. Let's talk about this man, Neha and Atikur. Neha and Atikur, let's talk about this man. Let's talk about this man. He says, Taliban, if they have destroyed the statue of the Buddhas, what they were actually doing is educating the Buddhists. I'm quoting him. And Neha is absolutely right. This man has inspired terrorist attacks across the entire world. The Dhaka terrorist attack also, as you mentioned, post 1st July 2016. The attackers, I remember there was one of the terrorists there who quoted on his Facebook page Zakir Naik saying all Muslims should be terrorists. And then also another thing, so Atikur, be very careful. We want this fellow back. I want him locked up. I want him hanged. Zakir Naik should be hanged for his crimes against humanity. And you know, and Taslim Rahmani knows, that the one man who can bring him back to this country and make him face the justice that he so rightly deserves is Modi. That's why you don't want Modi back. But the second evidence.
He's such a low person.
The second evidence.
He brought disgrace to the Prime Ministership.
ISIS Hyderabad module head.
Prime Ministership.
I know you hate Modi. Because you are afraid that if Modi comes back, Zakir Naik comes back, and everybody with links with him will be exposed. There will be no money from Saudi Arabia. Taslim Rahmani, Saudi money won't come anymore.
What do you mean comes back?
Atikur.
For the past 2.5 years,
Atikur and
the
Geeta.
government is sleeping on them. What do you mean come back? So we should wait that the Modi government is coming back and then we'll bring Zakir Naik back.
The Muslims of India should be the first one
Neha,
who should
please.
That
Neha, let me have my say,
brought back to India and punished. He has painted all the Muslims in one color. I'm surprised that how these people, they are favoring and trying to protect Zakir Naik sitting on this debate. They are the ones who should tell that we are being questioned and we are being postured in a negative light because of the dealings and the deeds of Zakir Naik, a man who has become the terror guru of Asia, a man who has laundered the money which has been coming for welfare of poor Muslims by using his foundation, IRF. The money coming from all Islamic countries for poor Muslims in this country is being used by this man for funding terror which have already been attached by the ED. Just in Mumbai, God knows how much more property is there. And just for your information, Indian government has already requested Interpol to issue a red terror alert for the name of Zakir Naik.
Geeta, I want to add one more thing
now,
here.
That is
may I add one more thing
happening.
here? May I add one more thing here? And that's where I put out a statutory warning for everyone today. Look at this man. Taslim Rahmani, wait. Look at the man Zakir Naik today.
Zakir Naik,
you know what Zakir Naik does? I'll tell you in simple English what he does.
Look at you, Arnab.
Look at you. No Saudi money, Taslim Rahmani suit. All Saudi money will be stopped. All money that comes to India to radicalize Indians will stop. No, Taslim Rahmani.
Whatever you want.
Taslim Rahmani, आप किस पार्टी से हैं?
Because they are not genuine.
आप किस पार्टी से हैं?
I'd like to juxtapose two things here.
No, one second. Neha, let me complete. Neha, let me complete. Neha, I want to make a point.
I dissociate myself from Mr. Ilyas Sharafuddin. Number one, I dissociate myself from Mr. Ilyas Sharafuddin. Number two, I belong to a duly registered political party of India called Social Democratic Party of India. This is my attachment.
Okay, so do you know something about Ilyas, which is why you're dissociating from him?
Whatever way he is talking about the Afghan and the Buddha, it may be his own ideology. I don't endorse such an ideology.
And I harsh critic of your Guru Modi. He knows that I am a truthful Indian, son of Indian Army Naik, and against the terrorist
I have nothing to do with Mr. Narendra Modi.
He knows it very well.
Narendra Modi is a person who's... You see, there are only 3 faces remain. And out of these 3 phases, 160 seats are going to poll. All these seats are won. Almost all these seats are won by the BJP in 2014. Now, if he is taking the camouflage of Zakir Naik and Burqa and Sri Lankan attack and NIA, I don't know why he is afraid. What he is afraid of.
This is our country we are talking about.
It seems that Narendra Modi and his party has very clearly said that they are going to lose.
Amit Shah and Arnab Goswami going to jail. Modi, Amit Shah, Arnab Goswami going to jail, inshallah, after 23rd. The case against Arnab Goswami in High Court by Times of India and by Zakir Naik of cheating. Arnab is a cheater according to Times of India and according to Zakir Naik. And Modi and Amit Shah too going to jail. In Rafale case and in the case of Sarabuddin after 23rd, inshallah.
Right.
Arnab is a coward fearing Zakir Naik. Because Zakir Naik comes, he will go to jail.
Allow me to come in, please.
1 second. You know something.
And Amit Shah and Modi also fear Zakir Naik. After 23rd, they are also going to jail.
The fact of the matter is there is a threat to our security. And there is a threat to global security from people like Zakir Naik who radicalize. And based upon the money they make, Atikur, they buy 22 flats for their family in and around this country. They are the traders you need to be careful of. And I wonder why, Atikur, you cannot stand up to these people, these preachers of hate. Break away, Atikur.
Don't forget the ecosystem.
Break away.
People like Zakir
Break
Naik.
the ecosystem.
The ecosystem that feeds
and I tell you, this country will celebrate when Zakir Naik comes
Zakir
back.
Naik.
Fine. Anab, give me a minute, please. Give me a minute. Since the past 2 years, I have been on several debates with you, Arnab, and I have tried to stress upon the point is the same that last 6 months the NIA has diluted the charges about terrorism on Zakir Naik. This fact has to be brought to light.
Do you agree
as far as money laundering goes, Arnab, I was on the same platform with you.
Do
money
you
laundering
agree with
has
the
been
version
done
of
by
Islam,
may
the
I
Wahhabism
complete?
that he was propagating?
Neha,
do you
please
agree
let
with
me
any
complete.
of that? Give me an answer to that.
Neha, this is very important.
Do you agree
we
with
are
the way
discussing
he was
national
preying
security.
upon vulnerable
Please
youth?
don't make it so casual.
With
don't
his views
make
on
it so
Hinduism?
casual, please.
Do you agree
money laundering is
with
a
his
different
homophobia? Do you agree with his views on sex slavery?
I agree with the part of money laundering, Neha, but as far as terrorism goes, you cannot charge or prove Zakir Zakir Naik.
Then tell me one thing, Atikur. Atikur, then tell me one thing. Atikur, then tell me one thing. Atikur, if this is the matter, then RSN, 1 minute. 1 minute. First of all, RSN, 1 minute. Before you come in, RSN, let me say one thing. The argument being made is, yes, he radicalizes, but he does not support terrorism. Then tell me, upon interrogation, it came to the fore that ISIS Hyderabad module head, Mohammad Ibrahim Yazdani, got his inclination towards terror outfits because of Zakir Naik, and he attended Zakir Naik's 10-day camp in 2000, working as a volunteer. He was following Zakir Naik, and then he went to the ISIS. In 2016, an associate of Zakir Naik and IRF employee was arrested for converting 2 individuals to Islam and recruiting for ISIS in Kerala. Abu Anas, an accused charge-sheeted by the NIA, RSN knows about him, was also receiving money from the IRF. So there are financial transactions and ISIS recruitment. The PMLA court on the 13th of April 2017 issued non-bailable warrants against Zakir Naik after the Enforcement Directorate attached properties of the IRF. These are facts that I'm presenting to you. Are you blind? Do you not see?
No,
you don't see the threat?
Editor sir, it is not that he doesn't know the facts. He's just pretending.
Arnab,
now let me tell you.
Arnab, one second.
1 minute. Bardwan Dhaka Cafe link. Zakir Naik, Bardwan Dhaka Cafe. Bangladesh is another country. It's an Islamic country.
Let them be proved in the
Kerala,
court of
Sri
law.
Lanka link.
Besides,
Sri Lanka
I
is
will
another
tell you,
country.
Arnab, have you ever tried to bring one single convert
Syria
who has been converted
We will
by
fight.
Zakir Naik on your program, or any of you were in touch of those people? They will tell you. Those Hindus will tell you under what circumstances.
You are talking of
let
proof.
them
Are you a court
get
of law?
into the fold of Islam.
Are you a court of law? We have the people of this country are
Taslim Memani.
So don't make a fool of yourself.
Go to the court first.
You are no better than the person who has just left.
Why the NIA diluted the charge? Why the NIA diluted the charges?
Sada, I also, and we will not give up. You see, one second. Now let me go to Taslim Remani. Now let me ask Taslim Remani. Mr. Remani, I speak on facts. Please understand the following fact I present to you. The whole world has been shocked with the Sri Lanka Easter terrorist attack. And in this, the mastermind, Zahran Hashim, posted videos on Facebook in which he said, in the context of Zakir Naik, for years this faithful man spread his incitement without being banned. So he took the fact that Zakir Naik was not banned as encouragement. Another video he said, what can Sri Lankan Muslims learn from Dr. Zakir Naik? Do you realize what Sri Lanka has seen? Do you feel the government of Sri Lanka is blind, is radical or communal for the actions it has been forced to take? I feel sad that this country has spread love across the entire world. We don't need a Zakir Naik as our export from India. We need to bring him back, sir. We need to bring him back in handcuffs. That's what we will do. I have no doubt in my mind
some submissions
that it will happen.
Before I elaborate whatever you are asking and whatever today's
but
topic,
Arnab, you have to look at the reason why he flourished.
Really
it is this ecosystem.
Very sad today, because you remember, Arnab, when your father has expired, I personally felt pain and I conveyed it to you. But today you know that I am not an apologetic person and I am not a person of a buttering kind of a person. But today I feel because of this attitude of Ilyas Sharafuddin, I am personally feeling pain, and I say very much from the deep of my heart, I say sorry to you. Please,
sir, please
accept
it's okay.
my sorry for this man. Really, it cannot be considered. On the national scale, I say sorry to you on behalf of this person. He say or not, but I feel painful. And now, whatever, as about the Zakir Naik is concerned, nothing could be proved as of now against him. You may have confiscate his property, but you have to go to the court. At court, earlier also the court has dismissed such kind of ED petition. He is living in Malaysia and 22 other countries has moreover offered his citizenship to Zakir Naik. You cannot say the whole world is after him. This is not a fact. This is not a fact. And I'm sorry that the Prime Minister of the country is speaking about a person against whom there is no evidence as of now, and he is speaking in the public rally to garner the votes. And I say on the three faces ahead, he is already, it is a Modi land, the three faces ahead. Then why he is using such kind of name to get the votes?
I don't think Zakir Naik is about votes.
Highly unfortunate thing that the Prime Minister of the country and the ruling party is using such kind of narrative to garner votes. And they don't need any vote. Three faces ahead, all the 160 seats, mostly they are the Modi heartland. Then why he is using, he is feeling weak. He is feeling weak. So he wants to use such kind of narrative.
I thank you all. I thank you all for this debate. I thank you all for this debate, and I hope and pray that the day is not far when we get Zakir Naik back. There will be justice. Thank you, gentlemen. And now for debate number 3. Another day and another Vadra blunder. A day after her vote cutter admission, Priyanka Vadra did another U-turn. Someone who was called an enigma, her blunder list is growing as the confused campaign collapses. Let's debate.
The admission.
जहां हमारे उम्मीदवार थोड़े से हल्के हैं, वहां पे हमने ऐसे उम्मीदवार दिए हैं जो बीजेपी का वोट.
The U-turn.
हमारे सारे मजबूती से लड़ रहे हैं उम्मीदवार और बीजेपी का ही नुकसान होगा इससे.
Not once.
हम मजबूती से लड़ रहे हैं, हमारे उम्मीदवार मजबूत हैं और हमारे साथ, हमारी विचारधारा के साथ जितनी भी विचारधाराएं हमारे पक्ष में है, हमारे साथ हैं, हम इकट्ठे बीजेपी के खिलाफ लड़ेंगे.
Not twice.
19 में ये फोकस है कि बीजेपी को हराना है उत्तर प्रदेश से, ये फोकस है और इसी फोकस के साथ जो भी कार्य मैंने किए हैं इसी फोकस के साथ किए. 2022 में मैं कांग्रेस के संगठन को मैं तब तक मजबूत बनाऊंगी, खड़ा करूंगी ताकि हम 2022 में एक अच्छी लड़ाई लड़ें.
But 4 times in a day.
I have not said that I am putting weak candidates. I have been very clear in what I have said. I have said very clearly that Congress is fighting this election on its own strength. That our candidates are fighting strongly in most constituencies. Wherever I was asked a specific question, are you benefiting the BJP? I have answered this question. I have said I would rather die than benefit the BJP.
Priyanka Gandhi Vadra denied not once, not twice, but 4 times in a day. Even Maya Akhilesh won't believe her.
आज जनता उनके साथ नहीं है, इसलिए ये बहाना ढूंढा जा रहा है कि हमने वीक कैंडिडेट दिया है.
अब यहाँ के लोगों को अपना वोट कांग्रेस पार्टी को देकर कतई भी खराब नहीं करना है.
Blunder after blunder have marked Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's Uttar Pradesh campaign, be it the Varanasi retreat or using kids as political props. Or landing up on the Samajwadi platform despite being snubbed. The Congress thought she'd be their 2019 trump card, but has Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's confused strategy failed miserably? Let's debate.
It's a short debate. I just want you to tell, in your view, hashtag is Vadra blunder. Just tell Sumant and Ravi Srivastava to start with. In your view, when she entered politics, everybody was gushing and, you know, she's the hope, etc. And now, if you've been seeing the behavior, you know, violent behavior before people, beating people, then today latest was playing with snakes and getting children to abuse the Prime Minister, then saying I'm putting up weak candidates, putting up strong candidates. The level of confusion that she seems to be reflecting, what's going on? Is this immaturity or something else? What do you think, Pradeep? You can tell, and it's a short debate, so keep it brief. Yeah.
No, Arnab, I think it's she's basically giving trends of being a confused Gandhi and a U-turn Gandhi. Let me tell you facts. On 1st May, she said that she's putting up candidates. I'm actually getting the audio. It's echoing in my ears. Hello.
Continue.
Arnab. Yeah. So I was saying that on 1st May, she said that she's putting up strong candidates, she's putting up weak candidates so that she can cut the votes of the BJP. On 2nd May, she does a U-turn. She was planning to contest Varanasi. Then on 25th of when the Prime Minister was having a roadshow, she says that she's not contesting Varanasi. In assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh, the Congress was planning to field her as the CM candidate. Then they did a U-turn and fielded Sheila Dikshit. She said that she would rather die than help the BJP. I'll give you constituencies. Let's take Farrukhabad. The Congress has fielded Salman Khurshid, who's cutting the votes of the Gathbandhan, Manoj Agrawal. There she is helping the BJP. Let's take Sultanpur. The Congress is cutting the votes of Sonu Sood of the Mahagathbandhan. So there are an enormous amount of constituencies where the Congress is helping the BJP, and there are constituencies where the Congress is no contest. So her statement of, she would rather die rather than help the BJP, she is helping the BJP in a lot of places. So I don't know what she's saying.
The thing is that it's about...
She says something else. On the second, she does a U-turn.
Is it just a temperament issue? Yeah. Because this is the same person, Sumant.
There is no U-turn, Pradeep.
No, she said weak candidates are being put to cut votes.
There is no U-turn.
Then 1 minute.
It's very clear. She has said very clearly that if the candidates happen to be weak, not that they are deliberately putting up weak candidates. There is a difference between the candidate who I can put up a strong candidate,
Suman,
but in public perception he may not
but
be
she
strong.
Said that she would rather die than help the BJP.
Language issue,
there are places where she's helping the BJP.
Comprehension issues seem to be plenty. And Rahul Gandhi explained very clearly the party's strategy in UP. You didn't possibly see the interview earlier this evening that he gave from Rajasthan.
No,
he explained the party's position in UP. He said, look, we can't give up our state in UP altogether.
Okay. Suman, don't make it so long. It's a short debate, so thank you.
Anila. And help the Gathbandhan in every other place.
Okay. Now, Anila, you see, 1 second, please. Anila, is this actually going to help you? You know, the fact that the whole Priyanka bubble has burst, she's looking more immature than Rahul, and keeps changing her position, and then went to the Samajwadi Party rally apparently in Raebareli. And then before that she said, I'm never fielding weak candidates. Then 2 hours earlier she said, I'm fielding weak candidates. And then, you know, the whole attitude and behavior, is this actually Priyanka moving to be an asset for you? How do you view her blunder after blunder of late?
Are help to us or not, but I know they are doing great service to this country, because country is seeing everything, they are listening, and they are concluding that this duo, brother-sister duo, they are good for nothing, and Congress cannot rule our country in near future. So definitely, I think the picture they are portraying in front of everybody, it is benefiting our country. And right from the beginning, when this alliance of Sapa and Baspa was declared, and it was told that Congress is not going to be in this alliance, at that time also I had one question to ask. Ye rishta kya kehlata hai? Because, you know, on face they will say that we are not together. They'll keep abusing each other. Then we see instances that they are standing together. They are helping each other. No. And when they are asked that why are you doing this, their simple answer is, "Hame Modi ko harana hai." So, but I think Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is a very confused person.
I think now you should finish, because
also, and country doesn't need such leaders.
What they are doing, the brother-sister duo, I think they are doing a great service to the nation, and at least they are building up a proper opposition in this country, which was somehow missing in the last 5 years.
Really?
So you should be grateful for that, that they are doing a good job, and they are trying to build up a good opposition in the country. The second thing which I want
to say...
No,
Ravi, since when is Rahul Gandhi building an opposition in this country and nobody is basically aligning with him? Mamta Banerjee calls him a bacha. You have Priyanka Gandhi Vadra making a statement of 1st May, which Akhilesh Yadav denies on 2nd May. Mayawati every second day blames the Congress. I don't know what type of opposition is she making or is he making with nobody in the opposition even agreeing to them, yeah? You tell me, JDS chief Kumaraswamy cries in that opposition. Samajwadi Party, BSP complain about that party. Where is the opposition being built? Is it built in fanciful dreams? Is it built in fanciful dreams of...
And Priyanka Gandhi admonished those children.
Even in that incomplete video, how can she basically provoke and get young kids into political rhetoric? How can she get kids of 9 years and 10 years into political rhetoric rather than helping them teach science and mathematics?
Why did you edit the video and put it out? Why did you put out a carefully edited video? Is that not a wrong thing to do?
Shameful political video. Even if it, I am saying that even if you look at the complete video, in the former part of the video, she is basically enjoying the young 9 years and 10-year-old entering into political rhetoric when the age is basically to learn about science, maths. They've hired and they've taught 9 years and 10 years rather than educating them, rather than telling them about different aspects of the country, of science, education, technology. They tell them about political rhetoric of Chaukidar and all. What is a 9-year and 10-year-old to do with it? Yaar? Have you ever seen Modi with the 9-year and 10-year talking about Gandhis? No, this is pure pathetic is what I will say.
No, I'm not...
How can you get 9 years and 10 years into political
You remain pathetic,
rhetoric?
I don't mind.
Are they voters?
You remain pathetic. Please don't show the part video, show the full video.
Polluting infertile minds.
No, you can't use children as props.
Full video also you say in the former part of the video when
she was encouraging the children to abuse.
When the children were making the statement on
Anila has seen the video.
She was encouraging that.
She was encouraging for Chaukidar.
She had a smile on her face. Can I show the picture there?
Because Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is...
Can I show the picture there? You saw the expression on her face.
How could she...
You want me to
What was the expression? She was delighted. Look at her. Look at her. She was delighted. She was delighted.
But when they were abusing
she was delighted. She was laughing when they were abusing.
Have guts to show
This is not normal behavior.
My main concern is because she herself is a mother.
She admonished them.
She thinks...
She admonished them. I can produce the video
to abuse the Prime Minister of our country.
Children
are abusing Prime Minister.
Abusing.
This is the lesson she wants to convey to the children?
Yes, and she
This is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And Priyanka Gandhi Vadra should apologize. She should come in front and she should show large heart and she should apologize. Why did she allow children to abuse Prime Minister of this country? One of the main things is, I think, since yesterday, opposition has totally gone mad. Since yesterday, when, because of Narendra Modi ji, Masood Azhar is declared as international terrorist. I mean, they all have gone so mad. They don't know what they are saying, what are their actions.
It is you only who have got the head to put that Sadhvi Pragya, that terrorist.
That is why your actions are speaking more. Your actions are speaking more than words, and at times words are speaking more than actions. So there is no balance. Absolutely no balance.
Let us see if you can tell me what it means.
I can understand you can foresee the results, and you know very well that who is going to be the Prime Minister of this country, Narendra Modi ji. So, whole of the opposition, especially the Congress party, they are feeling so helpless.
I think
the
somewhere...
Congress party, like, they have no politics under the leadership of
somewhere,
not needed.
Somewhere, Suman, let's come to terms with something.
Very much bad.
Let's come to terms with something. This is India, in this country today.
Let's come to terms
the last thing this country needs, is another generation of Vadras for this country. I mean, there is deep disquiet over it. But anyway, Mrs. Vadra's behavior of late has been a matter of great concern. Visuals speak for themselves. We are... Sumant, you can say what you want to.
The nation does not work as per your wish.
The nation wants merit. The nation wants merit, Ravi. The nation wants merit, Ravi.
What is the merit of Mrs. Vadra?
The nation wants merit, Ravi.
The nation decide that, sir.
The nation, I ask you, the nation wants merit.
Merit is not in the DLF properties in Gurgaon.
You know, you want to know her merit?
Merit on the
basis
of what?
You want to know her merit?
Sir?
She has sacrificed two people in this
merit
country.
on the basis of
while
what?
We all have sweat our asses out in order to do something in life. Not built illegal properties in Gurgaon in the name of
I thank you all for joining me on the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. The temperature is hot. The debates are hotter. Good night and goodbye.